So your CD came out today, right?
Yep.
So how are you guys feeling about it? Are you nervous or are you just excited?
A bit of both. A little bit of both. I'm definitely probably more excited right now than nervous, but you know, it's always nerve-wracking to see like what your first week of sales are going to be.
Yeah. What's the meaning behind the name of the record?
It's like it's actually a lyric taken from one of the songs, and it's kind of like, well, obviously, you know, it's a question, like that kind of the album, like if you want to get deep with the album, you know, like kind of is exploring that kind of question, you know, about yourself, and it also represents us as a band. Like for this record, you know, like we finally feel like we wrote the record we've been wanting to write like our whole career. It was like us finding our identity, I guess. So.
And speaking of that, like you can definitely see that your music has grown, like lyrically and the way it sounds. So what influences did you?
There were a lot of influences, like as far as like touring with a lot of different bands, like and seeing how like their songs came off live, like made us think about how these songs are gonna sound live. You know, like we wanted to come across live really well. And so like that was one of the things we went into writing the record with that in mind, as well as like lyrically, you know, like it was from like a lot of books and stuff that I was reading and movies that I'd seen and that kind of thing. There's kind of like a little story hidden in the lyrics as well.
Yeah. But also we just kind of progress as musicians and individuals ourselves, and I guess that just kind of came across different that way.
And then a lot of people were also wondering what playing the villain is about.
Playing the villain is just about, you know, watching someone like throw their life away, I guess, you know, like a friend of yours or someone, you know, just anyone really. So, I mean, it can be taken a lot of different ways, but that's kind of the basis of the song, I guess.
And then what's your guys' favorite song off the new CD?
That's one of them.
Yeah, that's one of them. This Is the Real Thing is another fun one that I think we both like. Yeah.
And now we have a whole bunch of fan questions.
Okay.
So Michelle wants to know, what is the oddest request you've ever received from a fan?
The oddest request. We don't really get that many odd ones. I'm trying to think though. Like a lot of people want us to do videos for their friends and stuff. But
Hold random stuffed animals.
yeah. That was a weird one. Like in Atlanta, like some girls like.
She had like a whole set of things.
Yeah, those
for
stuffed
different
animals.
Websites that of like some stuffed animal that was traveling the country.
She's like, here, take a picture of this, and I'm like, okay.
It was weird.
I don't know what this
That's
is,
random.
but yeah. I think people just like take weird pictures, you know. I think those are like usually the weird requests involve like a camera usually of some kind.
Tiana wants to know, how did you guys both start out with music? Like, when did you start practicing?
I started when I was 6, doing classical music, playing piano. And then I got into rock music when I was like about 14, picked up a guitar. And that's when I started writing songs, I suppose.
About the same for me, except I quit piano real quick. I was a stubborn little kid and didn't like it. So.
Did your parents make you do it?
Yeah, my mom tried to. It didn't work. But then I picked up a bass when I was like 13 and moved on to guitar from there. Actually, no, I started on drums, but that didn't last long either. I don't know. I've been doing it all my whole life, I guess.
So when did you realize that you wanted to share your music with the rest of the world instead of it being something personal and that you just did for fun on your own?
I guess I always wanted to.
Yeah, that's just the way that I saw it as how it was done, you know, like, because the bands I listen to obviously are sharing it with the world, you know, so I just figured that's how it was done, and if I'm writing songs, of course I'm going to show them to people.
Danny wants to know, why did you decide to renovate My Beautiful Rescue?
It's kind of a weird story. The label, Feel by Ramen, asked if we would just like record like a new recording, same, you know, played the same way and everything.
Just for like deluxe editions, that kind of thing, of the record.
Yeah, and then Squire, our producer, had this crazy idea of just, you know, completely changing it, renovating the song, whatever. And we're like, oh, we just don't really want to record this song at all, you know. But we ended up doing it and liking it a lot, and like we thought it was a good like representation of like the new direction, you know, with an old song. So we ended up liking it a lot and threw it on the record.
We did it. We thought, you know, we were scared to do it. Didn't know what the reaction would be, and it's been very mixed, which we expected. But
It's fun. It's really fun to play live as well. It's like just sounds bigger, you know.
Yeah, I really like the sound on it. And then also, she wants to know if your album cover has any hidden meaning behind it.
Not really. I mean, there's just elements and stuff from the lyrics, I think, that are just taken and put into the artwork.
Yeah, subtle.
And then Hillary wants to know if you have any tour superstitions.
I mean, there's certain
I don't
things that we
think so.
do, yeah, like if you're on a bus, you know, you sleep with your legs towards the front of the bus in case it crashes, so you break your legs, not your neck.
That's not a
That's not really a
superstition.
superstition. It's just like, but you know, there's things that bands do like before they go on stage. Like that's the kind of question they're asking, right? Yeah, we don't really have anything. There's like mental stuff, you know, like if I don't warm up my voice, then I won't be able to sing.
And Katie wants to know, is it hard to be away from your family in Australia?
Yeah. Well, I have my direct family in Seattle,
Oh, awesome.
but my extended family is in Australia, and I was really, really good friends with my cousins and stuff. So, yeah, it sucks. It's
Have they
tough.
been able to come and see you perform at all?
One of my cousins has before, yeah, but you know, it's an expensive flight.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so.
Also, what was the best thing about recording this new album for you guys?
A lot of good things.
Yeah.
We're down in California. It's nice and
Yeah, we
sunny.
spent a month in LA, and I don't know, it was fun. Like the studio, I think was the coolest part about it. Like
Yeah, it's awesome.
it just had like all these like little like boutique guitar amps, and it was just a cool vibe. We got to like play around with a lot of stuff. It was fun.
With a busy schedule like yours, is it hard to keep that personal connection with your fans?
I mean, there's only a certain connection that you can really share with a fan, you know, like unless you like see them like 100 times or whatever. It's like trying to get to know someone like, you know, that you just meet one time, like at a party or something, and you never see him again. You know, like.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely try to go out our way to meet everyone and hang out with them as much as we can.
And you guys
Yeah.
have your blogs and like, I remember
Yeah.
you used to give out your email and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do email because I hated MySpace messages,
Yeah.
but now I just have my blog. You know, like it's really hard to reply to everyone who writes to me. So.
Holly Jade wants to know, when you guys were kids, what did you want to be when you grew up, or were you always wanting to do music?
When I was a kid, I wanted to be like a pilot, like an airplane pilot, or like an artist, like someone who like painted. You know, so.
I remember in kindergarten when they'd have you draw a picture of what you wanted to be when you were older. I drew veterinarian because I loved animals.
Oh.
It's a really bad picture, though. I think I should have it.
And then Eva wants to know, what is the most ridiculous thing that's happened to you on tour, or the most embarrassing?
We have a fair share of these. I don't know. Last night was a pretty embarrassing night for me, actually, at the show.
It was worse for Siski.
It was worse for Sissy. I wish I had Siski's story. No, but I just like was like trying to play this. It's like an acoustic show, you know. And I'm trying to play this song, and not one person in the audience was listening. Well, I shouldn't say not one.
Yeah, there were plenty of
There-
fun, but
And also like the people who worked at the venue, like were right by the soundboard. They're just like yelling at each other, like over the top of the song. I was just like I'm done, and so I just stopped playing the song and went to the next song. So that was just like a weird thing, I guess. I don't know.
the thing about
It's
that is like
embarrassing.
if you've like
I was
you've
like, I just
done-
want to get off stage right now.
You've done that once before, like when we were a full band show, but when you do it in an acoustic show, we still just got to go to another acoustic
Yeah,
song.
no, yeah.
So it was like, but it was different. I mean,
So it was just embarrassing and, you know, weird.
My last question is, what do you want your fans to take away from listening to your new album? Like, what message do you want them to get out of it?
I just think just asking yourself questions, you know, about yourself. I mean, like the album title's pretty blunt, you know, who are you now? And just taking a bit of time to think about your life and where you're at with everything. It's a good thing just to have times of reflection, you know, so. And hopefully, you know, they have a great record that they can enjoy singing along to with their friends and rock it in the car, you know, going to shows, whatever.
All right, well, thank you so much for doing this.
No worries.